there was a woman that I used to see all the time at a place where I went to vacation. And she and I got to know each other through the years. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, first time I went down there, I told her all about it. And about 2 years later, her husband was diagnosed with cancer. And he had a few good months, and I'm having a hard time remembering. I think it was a little over a year, and then went, you know, just way downhill really fast. She had, her son and she in hospice had rigged up a gadget because her husband was a fairly heavy man, and as dead weight as he had become, there's no way for him to lift him out of the bed to do anything, and it has to be done because you get bed sores and all kinds of other things. So she was lifting him in this gadget out of the bed one day, and she'd gotten underneath him to position his butt in the sling thing, and he didn't have any pants or diapers or anything on. He was butt naked, and he let loose all of his bowels all over her face, her head, her neck, everything. And she said that they both just burst out laughing, just laughed and laughed and laughed themselves silly. And to me, that's part of what I mean about the joy that can be there in death. In the worst, most awful, god-awful moments, there can be this joy. She told me about this about 2 months after he died, and spent about 2 hours telling me about his death in those last few weeks, and telling me, obviously, the nitty-gritty of things, and wasn't afraid to do that, thank God. But that was like such a living example of how there really can be joy in death and dying. And for her, I think that's going to be a memory she will always have that's good, because it entails the laughter, the fun, the worst, the most god-awful thing that, you know, poop all over you. But she's trying to help him and trying to make him more comfortable and make things better for him. So it contains all of the emotions of death, the grief, the sorrow, the hurt, the mechanical difficulties, and the joy. And I just think her story about that particular incident is amazing, because it does encompass so many emotions. That's what I hope in later, I don't know if you think that story is too gross to tell. I think it's a perfect story. I don't know if I could do something like warn people, turn your volume down if you can't stand anything gross, if you're in the least bit squeamish. But this is a funny one.